I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakadash, double honors to Apostles of Great Millstone. This is the brother Kadash. You know, double honors to all the brothers in this troop too, man. You know, these times are getting closer and closer, man. These are end times that we're living in. And destruction, man. Some things that you even see on movies, man, you starting to see play off in real life, man. So complete destruction is happening. This is a little video on a fire tornado. You know, I ain't never seen a fire tornado in my life, but it's over here in California, man. This is like just strange things, man, and strange and frightening sightings are happening, which goes to show you that when this all comes to an end, man, it's gonna be like never before, like a time like never before. And the thing is, it's like some of the things that's gonna be happening is gonna be things that you could never even imagine. It's gonna be some complete destruction going on, man. And it speaks about that. You know, even mighty men are gonna be faint, you know, or are gonna be brought down to their knees during these times, man. Let's let this play. Look at that. That's a fire tornado, man. I don't care how tough you is, how big you is, how many muscles or how many push-ups you think you could do, man. If you sitting in front of that thing, a fire tornado, man, it's going to kind of hit you, man. I don't care how tough you is, man. You're going to be kind of a little bit fearful there. You know, things like that, man. When you seeing stuff like that, you know. Even the prophets that got to see glimpse of the end times and stuff, man, they was frightened by some of the things they seen. Ezra, you know, was frightened about. Matter of fact, I'm finna go into the book of Esdras now. Now that I said that, you know, was frightened about a lot of different things that he seen. They were frightening things, man, to see how the end was going to be. That's why I said a time like never before. All hell is breaking loose as we speak, as we talk. You know, let's jump into, since I brought up that, let's jump into second Esdras. I think it's chapter 5, but I don't know what verse I want. I'm gonna just start from, man, this is here. I'll just start from verse 6. And even he shall rule who they look not for that dwell upon the earth. You know, all off the top of the head. And the fowls shall take their flight away together. You know, so Yahweh Shai is going to rule, you know, under Yahweh. But in a sense, too, the Israelites, you know, who are the so-called Negroes, Native Americans, and Hispanics, people aren't looking for us to rule. People aren't saying, oh yeah, they got next. People are looking at China saying China's going to be the next superpower. Russia or America's going to continue rulership. They're not looking for us, you know. They're kind of scoffing at us and looking at us as like low lives and piece of shit. But, you know, even he shall rule. So they're going to find out, like, man, these are the people that it talks about that in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, that they're gonna find out, like, man, these are the people that's up to rule next. Yeah, man, who they look not for that dwell upon the earth, because they ain't looking for us to rule next, but we are, right? And the falls should take their flight away together. You know, all hell is about to break loose. It's gonna go into it. And the Sodomish sea shall cast out fish and make a noise in the night, which many have not known, and they shall all hear the voice thereof. Because, like, hurricanes and stuff that starts in the sea, you know, tsunamis that's caused by hurricanes sometime, and earthquakes and stuff like that. A lot of people, if you don't live on the coast, on one of the coast, or live down there, you know, in Florida, if we talking about America, you probably ain't never been in a hurricane or something like that. Like, I know for myself, like, I never seen a hurricane. I never been in the midst of a hurricane. I've seen tornadoes. I've been close around the area of a tornado going off and heard the sirens going off and stuff like that. But I never seen a tsunami. We felt like small earthquakes. I never felt like a big boy earthquake. I never been in a hurricane. And a lot of people that live in the Midwest and, you know, the middle parts of the United States, they never even experienced that. But that's what it's talking about. I mean, the sea should cast out fish and should make noise in the night, which many have not known, right? Verse 8, there should be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts should change their places, and the menstruous woman shall bring forth monsters. Meaning kind of like confusion, which America is confusion. Babylon is the place of confusion, right? And the fire should be sent out often. But what are we seeing? California, they can't get a break. The fire is being sent out often. It's just fire and fires popping up, man. And it's gonna go. They think that it's gonna end up like ending. It's gonna keep going on, man. It's gonna get worse and worse, and it's gonna hit all of the United States eventually through different means like nuclear weapons that's gonna be shot out on war store. The wild beasts should change their places. Now that's important because like you could look up a lot of videos and stuff like that, but especially with this pandemic and a lot of places being empty, and what's been happening is people been seeing animals like in places where they normally wouldn't see them. People been seeing like a lot of bobcats, or there's been a lot of like different populations of animals that was getting low that's starting to rebuild, and you're seeing more foxes and stuff like that. And then I know, going back to the movie I Am Legend, when you seen like the lion, they're in jungles and stuff like that, but it was lions in the middle of the city of New York, going back to that movie. Well, that's based off this prophecy right here. That's going to happen, man. You're going to see strange animals, bears and lions that usually like to be in the woods, like wolves and stuff like that. They're going to be next to your homes. They're going to be in the cities and stuff like that. They're going to change their habitation because they have to, because of Esau, Edom being so wicked, messing up the skies, messing up the land, that these animals, in order to survive, they're going to have to change their habitation, Let's start at verse 9. And the salt waters should be found and sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall hide itself, and understanding withdrew itself into his secret chambers. So all the wisdom and understanding is being taken. That goes back to Obadiah, the first chapter, the only chapter, when it talks about how has T9 pretty much lost his understanding, or been dismayed, or been confounded, or something like that. In other words, showing that Esau is going to lose, and all these other nations are going to lose their understanding, man. All hell going to break loose. When all hell officially breaks loose, it's going to be, you're not going to be able to get on the internet and look something up and Google how to do this and do that. So all hell is going to be breaking loose, man. And what you know is what you know. So that's why it's important to learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, because you're learning a way to live just in case something like that happen that's beneficial to you, not to the Lord. But the law, statutes, and commandments is beneficial to us. They for us. It's like a guide on how to live here on earth. For the Israelites, that's what made us great. Was us getting the law, statutes, and commandments in our. And salt waters, no, I just read that. And he sought out many, and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth, which has to happen, and which is going to happen even more, especially when all hell and all type of any laws and all that stuff is done away with, and everybody's running out here basically in the apocalypse trying to survive. People are going to be doing some unrighteous thing, man. Taking whatever woman they want. They don't care if she's married. People are going to be eating other people, anything to survive, man. It's going to be complete unrighteous. A lot of murder, a lot of killing. Those are things that's coming. Complete destruction that's coming here. Let me pause this. Okay, here's another video of some more destruction that's been going on. For a lot of these people saying, well, nothing's happening. You live in places where nothing is really happening. Man, all hell is already breaking loose. This should be a boost in faith. Seeing these signs and seeing these things should be a boost in faith to, you brothers in the truth. Here, let's let this one. School got burnt down. How many times you been at school when you were younger and you was like, man, I wish this place get burnt down? Especially during Black History Month, they want to show you is slave movies and stuff like that, or your people being oppressed. So for these kids, that whoever was going to this school, hey, that came true, man. But it just goes to show you, man, all destruction is breaking loose, man. Especially over there in California. But it's gonna come. It's not just gonna be California, man. It's gonna come all around, everywhere, you know. Let's jump into some more prophecies. This is Isaiah chapter 13. I'm gonna just start at verse 6. Howl ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. So this is talking about the day of the Lord. That has not happened yet. So this is prophecy. It should come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart should melt. So when I say like the mighty men, this includes mighty men, you know, like all men, every man's heart is gonna melt, man. All hands are gonna be faint, just like that fire tornado, man. It's gonna be way more destruction than that's about to happen. And man, it's gonna be faint, man. It's gonna be hard out here, you know. Man, hold on. When you're doing a video, that's when everybody want to start messaging you and stuff like that, but you gotta kind of just stay in it. Verse 7, therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, right? Verse 8, and they shall be afraid. So man is gonna be afraid, man. The strongest man, the most manly man that you could think of, they gonna be afraid, man, especially those who don't know what's going on and that's caught out there, right? Pains and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames, man. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate. Over there in California right now, man, that land's getting laid desolate. When the fire break out, man, burn everything down to the ground, kill off animals and stuff like that, kill off crops and stuff like that, block roads and stuff like that, make the air unbreathable. Man, that's desolate. See, that's prophecy being fulfilled, man. So is the day of the Lord supposed to come back with the Lord, you know, giving hugs to everybody, shaking everybody's hands, and doing TikTok videos, and the Lord gonna come back and make a personal Facebook page and stuff like that, and everybody could go be a follower? No, man. The day of the Lord is destruction. So if the day of the Lord is complete destruction, then you have to ask yourself, well, why is the day of the Lord complete destruction? Well, the answer is because this world is wicked. So the same world that some of you people out there love and you praise so much and you believe in is a wicked place. So you're believing and loving in something that's wicked. And it has to be wicked because that explains why the Lord is coming back to destroy. He wouldn't come back to destroy something that was righteous, right? So when you see America being destroyed, you have to admit to yourself, well, it must be getting destroyed by the Lord, because first of all, everything is ordained by the Lord. And second off, it must be getting destroyed by the Lord because it's a wicked place, you know. And he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it, you know. So man is going to get judged, man, especially sinners. Or, you know, our thing is for Israelites to repent, keep the law, statutes, and commandments, not be sinners, you know. For the star of heaven and the constellations thereof should not give their light, you know, just like over there right now in California, since we talking about it, since you see this video that's up on the screen, look at the sky. All that debris, all that smoke is in the sky, and it blocks out the sun, it blocks out the stars. You can't look up and see no star in the sky with all that debris and stuff in the sky. That's prophecy. That's what this is talking about, man. It's all adding up, and we live in such great times right now that we are actually able to see the prophets of old and some of our apostles that was in this thing from 30 years ago. They had to go more and more off faith, you know, because not saying that things wasn't happening, but not like it's happening now, for them to actually see and then go make a video, break it down, and then relate it to actual world events that's happening. So we blessed to be in it right now, because see, we could read these scriptures verbatim like I am right now, and actually not just say by faith this is going to happen, but we could show you it because it's happening as we speak. As we prophesize, the prophecies are happening. So now you see, like, you can hate the movement or wherever, however you feel, man, but at the end of the day, if you're watching this video right now, everything I'm reading in Isaiah 13 verbatim, you can actually see. I'm giving you proof and actual visual proof of the things happening too. So when it says, for the stars in heaven and constellations thereof shall not give their light, and the sun shall be darkened, Look at the video that I have on the screen right now. Look at the sky in the background. Doesn't that match up? That's what it's talking about. The suns and stars and constellations should not give their light. You're not going to be able to see them, man. And the sun should be darkened in his going forth. And the moon should not cause her light to shine. It's going to get even worse, man. Especially when nuclear warfare pop off. Now that we still got faith in. And we're going to see it come to pass, right? And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. This reminds me of Ecclesiasticus chapter 12. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Actually, here, I'm going to find it, man. Because, I mean, why cut corners? Let's just go and find it. Here, I got one here. Direct precept. Off the top of the head, man. You have to study this thing so you can learn these things off the top of the head. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 3. In the day when the keeper of the house should tremble, and a strong man. Remember, I was saying mighty man, right? But the strong man should bow themselves. And the grinders cease because they are few. And those that look out the windows should be darkened. What does that mean? Matter of fact, let's jump back up to verse 2. While the sun and the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. But look, what does it mean that the windows, when they look out the windows, it should be darkened? That means that you're not going to have no future, man. When you looking out to the future, not literally looking out the windows, but when you're looking, saying 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a lot of people got in their mind, I'm gonna be here in 10 years. I'm gonna be there. This how things are gonna be. We're gonna be on Mars, and we're gonna be able to have some. People think we're gonna be all driving electric cars and stuff like that. You start thinking like how the world gonna be in 10 years. But when you start to see this destruction, and you see that it's not just happening locally, but it's happening all over, and all hell is breaking loose. The dollar's about to, go out, pretty much be taken out. All these disasters are getting worse and worse. You start to look at the 10 years and it becomes dark. You don't see nothing. You like, man, I don't know where we're going to be at. All hell is breaking loose. That's what it's talking about. Now, back in Isaiah 13, when it says, verse 11, I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. With the arrogancy of the proud to cease. The proud saying, yeah, I'm going to be here in 10 years. Yeah, we're going to be on top of the world. We're going to be millionaires. We're about to bam and this and that, That's all going to cease, man. The proud is going to be brought low. You're going to have to take a knee and cease and say, man, it's coming down. We ain't got no future. All those celebrities, all these millionaires, people that got money, they going to have to bow down and say, look, all my arrogancy, man, I could have did this, I could have did that. Or I could fly out to the Bahamas. No, you can't fly out to the Bahamas right now because they shutting down those flights and stuff. And they really about to shut them down here in this second wave. This second wave going to be crazy, man. So that's going to cease, man. Those are direct precepts. Let's go. Keep going. Verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall move out her place, and the wrath of the Lord of hosts in the day of his anger, of his fierce anger. What is that talking about? You could say earthquakes. He gonna shake the earth with earthquakes and different earthquakes and disasters. Some big boy. I'm talking about 10.0 earthquakes. But also it's talking about those nuclear weapons, man. Because when those nuclear weapons hit, they shake the earth, man. They do great damage. You get a mushroom cloud, you get a wind blast, you get fire, you get earthquakes that could go off. All that, man. You will see. Verse 14. It should be as a chase roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people and flee every one into his own land. You got China people, they going back to China because they see America ain't the place no more. You got African people going back to Africa. Look at Akon. He's building that African city in over there in Africa somewhere, and he's asking, he's putting a hand out there for, so-called black people to return back. He's saying, man, return back to your homeland. Come be a part of my Akon city that's going to be based off Bitcoin. Look it up, man. Google it if you think I'm lying, right? You got Hispanic people saying, man, America is horrible right now. This is nothing. Coming here is just as bad as being there. Let's just go back to our Mexico. You got people from Canada running back to Canada. You got different people going back to different lands and stuff like that. Even though the Hispanics, Mexicans, or Israelites, same thing with the so-called black people or Israelites, to clear it up. But pretty much you got people fleeing back to their own people, to their own lands, right? Verse 15, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. Who is that? That's everybody, because the Lord is coming back to put this destruction on Esau, Edom. You could go to, he's one of the nations. That's the number one nation that he's coming back to destroy. You could go to Obadiah 1. You could stay in Isaiah. You could go to Isaiah 34, Isaiah 63, when the Lord's talking about destroying them. Everyone that's found with them, which are the so-called white man, Caucasian people, whoever's found with them and trying to live this American dream and joined into it, they gonna fall by the sword. When this place goes out, you're gonna go out, right? Let's jump to Jeremiah 49 and let's just get some precepts on that. Matter of fact, Jeremiah 49 verse 12, to back up what I was just saying. For thus saith the Lord, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Who is that talking about? That's talking about the Israelites, whose judgment was not to drink of the cup, because we're supposed to be holy people, righteous. But we surely have drunken of it, right? The Native Americans, blacks, Hispanics, we all went into slavery. We all were taken down by the same enemy, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Who was the Native Americans taken down by? Okay, now that you got that answer in your head, who was the Aztec Empire taken down by? Okay, now that you got that answer in your head, who was the so-called Negroes that brung here in slavery? Who were they taken down by? Who did they go into slavery under? Right? So you got a couple different nations. You're probably saying in your head, French, British, Spaniards, Now, what's the image of all those men? Do they have the same color of the image of the man that's on a $100 bill? Yes or no? So you can answer the question falsely in your head and lie to yourself, or you can be honest with yourself. If you really want to know the truth, we all have the same enemy. Why? Because we the same people, man. And that was prophecy for us to be. And now you got to ask yourself is, okay, so well then who are those people that we all have the same enemy? Who are they? The Esau, Edom, man. So it says, surely drunken, art thou that should go that altogether should go unpunished? Thou should not go unpunished, but thou should surely drink of it. It's talking about Esau. Verse 13, for I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra, wherever the Esau, Edom is located at on the earth right now, is referring to that place as Basra, which is America, shall be a desolation, a reproach, a waste, a curse. And all the cities thereof, California, New York, Dallas, Atlanta, all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste, man. And let's keep reading. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and thy pride of thy heart. America's the greatest place on earth. There's no place like America. Stuff like that. We're the number one superpower, the number one economy. Your pride, right? O thou that dwelleth in the cleft of the rocks, that holdeth the height of the hill, thou shouldst make thy nest as high as the eagle. What does it mean to make a nest as high as the eagle? It's talking about they go into the heavens, with their different jets, with their space stations. They make nests up there in the heavens as high as the eagle, even higher, right? It's a metaphor. And I will bring thee down from this, saith the Lord. The Lord gonna take them out. Ain't gonna be no more satellites, no space station in the heavens. It's all going to come down, man. Verse 17, remember I said this talking about Esau. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Right? As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. So how was Sodom and Gomorrah overthrew? Fire and brimstone. So how is Esau, Edom going to be a desolation? All the cities, desolation by fire and brimstone. But what is this fire and brimstone going to be? It's going to be from the nuclear and weapons, man. Neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. That's talking about America, man. No man is going to abide here. No man is going to dwell here when the Lord is done destroying this place, the most wickedest place on earth, man. Who's killed more people on earth? This so-called white men. They got the most bodies out of any people, any type of people you could think of. They killed the most people. Who's done the most wickedest things on earth? Well, I could talk about just America, right? I'll give you a couple facts about America, right? You can look them up yourself. Who's responsible for the transatlantic slave trade? You know, there's a lot of different nations a part of it. But those slaves that went on slaves on those boats, my ancestors, where did they come? They came to America. Where were they enslaved at? In America. Who took out the Native Americans? 90% genocide of hundreds of millions of Native Americans. Well, you would say the so-called, they call themselves the Americans now, right? That happened over here in America, true or false? So that's two things right there. Those are the two top most worst horrible things that happen on Earth history that we know of. Those two things right there are genocide of people. You know, you could go back to Noah and the whole Earth being wiped out, but I'm just saying like in recent memory, you know. But who took out the Aztecs? Who conquered Mexico? Were the people who's responsible for that so-called white man? If they came here to America, would they be considered so-called white men? Would you look at them and say they're white? Yes, man. That's who, and that's how we know, because the scriptures say Esau, Edom is the most wickedest people on earth. So we know who the most wickedest people on earth is. Today, we can see that with our own eyes in these same facts that I just asked you. So do the math, man. Who is Esau, Edom, man? It's them. Mystery solved, man. Put two and two together, mystery solved. You know, and have faith on it. Go back to faith, right? But the thing is like, that's just three things right there, right? Who dropped an atomic bomb on a city and killed millions of people? Would you say Americans did that? That's four things right there. I mean, come on, man. But let's keep going through this. It says before cities. Matter of fact, let's jump back to Isaiah 34 since I had brung it up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end this before it gets too long. I believe that's Isaiah 34, all off the top of the head, man. Here we go right here. Isaiah 34, let's just start at verse 5. For my sword should be bathed in heaven. Behold, it should come down upon Edomium, which is Greek for Edom, and upon the people of my curse. So Edomium is the people of the Lord's curse, right? Which goes back to Malachi chapter 1. When Esau should be, the Lord should have indignation for Esau forever and make his cities waste. We're going to get that after this too, man. And upon the people of my curse to judgment. And the sword of the Lord is filled with blood, and is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and the fatness of kidneys and rams. And the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah, a great slaughter in the land of Edomium. The Lord is coming back, and he's going to sacrifice. The whole America is going to be a great sacrifice. And what do? You prepare an altar, and you have to have fire. And you have to have sacrifice. The whole land is going to become a great sacrifice and a slaughter in the land of Edomium, which is only pointing to where they're located at now. It's not talking about their literal land. It's talking about where Esau Edom lives now. It's referring to that place as Edomium. Just like you get in Revelations 11, you could look this one up yourself when it says spiritually, their bodies should lay in the streets, spiritually called Sodom and Gomorrah? Is it talking about literal Sodom and Gomorrah? No, it was talking about, it was likening a place where their body was going to lay in the streets to Sodom and Gomorrah, because it has similarities to Sodom and Gomorrah. Same thing with this. This is prophecy that's going to be happening. Let's jump to Malachi chapter 1, because the Spirit is just, leading. Just going with the Spirit, man. Because a lot of times we quote these scriptures, but we don't bring them out. We just start to quote them. So I'm trying to make it a habit to actually go to it and bring it and actually bring them out, rather than just quoting them. Malachi chapter 1. Let's just get to the point. Verse 3. And I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom say, we are impoverished. So this is what Esau said. The Lord said he hated him, and he made his mountains and waste, and heritage waste. But Esau returned, because look, this is what Esau said. Verse 4. Where Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build. They did build America. They shall build. But I will throw down, and they should call them the border of wickedness. Border of the wickedness. So if you're the border or something, you're the outline, you're the most of that. Right? Like, there's more volume at the border or something. Right? If you got a circle and the border makes up more volume than the middle part. You see what I'm saying? Because the border includes everything. So the border of wickedness means that they're the most wickedest out of anything. And the people against whom the Lord has indignation for forever. So when it says I hated Esau, but I love Jacob, does that just mean that the Lord had favor of Jacob over Esau? No. Because it goes to explain the people against who the Lord has indignation for forever. It literally means he hates them. That's what indignation forever for. That's what that is there for. So the Lord said they're the most wickedest people on earth, man. So going back to those facts, who are the most wickedest people on earth? If we had to be honest, who's done the most wickedest things on earth? We all got a picture popping up in our head, man. We ain't talking about no petty robberies or shooting in the street. We talking about genocides, dropping atomic bombs, slavery of an entire nation of people. You know who it is, man. Esau, Edom is a so-called white man, so-called Caucasian man. And the Lord coming back to destroy him. And going back to this video and what I started with, that's why you're starting to see the destruction of this place. This place has its time. This place was set up, America was set up to fulfill prophecy the same way Egypt was set up. And then Egypt had its time, and Egypt got taken out. Sodom and Gomorrah was set up, and then it got taken out. Alexander the Greek and them, they set up camp, and then they got taken out. So every place has its reason for being set up to fulfill prophecy, but it comes to an end, because the last kingdom that's going to be standing, that's going to be forever, is the kingdom of the Lord, which means the kingdom of America right now in these other nations is going to get destroyed. Either way you want to think about it, it's going to get destroyed at some point in time. The Lord is not coming back with his kingdom and say, okay, I'll run stuff now and America is going to be a part of my kingdom. No, he's going to destroy this place and set up his kingdom. He's going to destroy all places and set up his kingdom. So that's why you're starting to see these judgments. You asking, you thinking like, what are these strange things that's happening in this world? This is what happened. Judgment is starting to be, it's starting to go out, and it's going to get way worse. So if you an Israelite, repent. I'm gonna leave it there. Salvation to the elect. Shalom.